kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome everybody into the Western States Racing League. Tonight they are working round number 15 from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the home of NASCAR. As they get set to jump in, we're going to go ahead and take a look at last week's race. Last week we saw Justin Michael lead the most laps with 83 in a dominating performance. Won the race by over half a second, got those 45 all-important points there. Ryan Steele was second. Andrew Schulte finished in P3, which tightened up the points race just a little bit. Chad Simpson has a 21-point lead over Andrew Schulte. Ryan Steele, 42. Kyle McCartney, 43. So all these races, all these next 6 races is going to determine the champion, and everybody wants to do their best to get there, as they will have a road course coming up next week. Well, with that being said, let's get this party started, as these guys are already rolling through qualifying here. Kelly Bishop in the 420 machine, one of the first drivers out on track. Looking through here, looks like Justin Michael, last week's winner, is going to take a stroll here. First lap for Michael is going to be 31.63. Christian Bishop with a 31.35. Was that 26 machine up on the pole for the moment here. James Lehman up there with a 31.38. Bob Beltrami chief cook and bottle washer, as our good friend Tony Trapasso used to always say. Bob Beltrami up there with a 31.21 on his first lap. And not to be outdone, last week's winner, Justin Michael, with a 31.05 on his second lap through. We'll see what Beltrami can do as he gets ready to come to that start-finish line for his second time through. Looks like Beltrami took a little off the wall there as he was slow to make his way through. David Weaver completed his second lap. Michael Melfeld Jr.'s second lap of 31.16. So Bob Beltrami had the fastest lap of his first lap out, but wasn't able to capitalize on it on lap number 2. Chris Foyles finished his second lap with a 31.46. Dustin Burns. Ryan Steele rolling on through. Well, thank everybody for joining us in the YouTube chat as always. Zeron, Dave Rudd, iRacing 413. Not sure who that is, but hopefully the changes pay off here. As Ryan Steele looks like he got a little loose there coming off of turn number 2. He's got a 31.28 first time by, trying to get all he can out of that number 12 Chevy here. Coming to the start-finish line. A little bit, 31.19, good enough for P4 right now. William Fletcher in that 28 Chevy. First time by at 31.25. As they come down the backstretch here. See what he can do. Coming out of turn number 4, headed through that quad oval. A 31.19 for Fletcher. Jumps Ryan Steele by thousandths of a second there. Puts him P4. Dan Brazington finished his second lap with a 31.41. But fastest time was lap number 1 with a 31.34. See who else is out on track. Kyle McCartney getting the most expensive car on the iRacing service. That Snap-on number 18 Toyota through the quad oval, headed to the start-finish line here. See what McCartney can do. Lap number 1, a 35.33, so definitely not the quickest there. They'll have several other drivers left to qualify. Looks like a few of them are sitting on pit lane right now. McCartney's second time through, and he's going to get a 31.36. Good enough for P12 right now of the 16 drivers that have qualified. Julian Ricci out here rolling through, getting ready to put down his heater here. Chris Sumard, first time by, a 31.29 for that 77 Chevy. Sean Rohr out here coming through 1 and 2, headed down that backstretch. We jump back over to Ricci as Ricci's getting ready to cross that start-finish line. 31.42 for Ricci there. We'll jump back to Rohr. $31.75, so not too bad. Brian Barnes, a 31.44 first time by for that 4 Chevy. I don't think Brian has had the season that he has wanted to. See if he can make some changes tonight and get that number 4 headed in the right direction here. 31.32 for Ricci there on his second time by. Brian Barnes through the start-finish line, and he will go P4, 31:14. Charlie Widener, first time by, 31:35. Headed through 3 and 4 now. That WD 4095 Toyota getting ready to go to the start-finish line here. 31:20, good enough for P8. Lyle Swearingen about halfway through his first lap. Swearingen first time by, 31:90. A lot of these guys going relatively low in comparison to their second lap. The only driver that was fastest first time by was Bob Beltrami. Andrew Schulte in that 81 Taco Bell Toyota with a 31:17, his first time by. So he's looking for the pole, see if he can get it this time by. He heads down the backstretch. Jump over to Barry Phil as he's getting ready to come to that start-finish line. It looks like he got loose into the wall, so it's going to probably disallow this time here. Lyle Swearingen, top of the board with a 31:02 on his second time by. Andrew Schulte not too far off with a 31:06. Chad Simpson, a 31:20 in the 42 Toyota. Butch Davis about halfway through his first lap here, headed into turn number 3. $31:38 for Davis. Jeff Schmeier getting ready to roll out. Through the quad oval for STP 43. 31:16 there for Davis. If anybody else is out on track, looks like Jeff Schmeier getting ready to roll through. Meyer first time by, a 31:21, good enough for P13 right now. And he does what he usually does. Just beats it. As far as time goes, 10-minute time limit. He crosses the line at 9:59 in 59 seconds. These guys get ready to jump on over into their rides. Let's see if we can get a closer look at the drivers that are going to be taking apart in tonight's race. We got Lyle Swearingen starting on the pole. Justin Michael's going to be just to his outside. We got Andrew Schulte and Heath Smith, James Lehman, and Brian Barnes. 155 of Michael Melfeld Jr. and Butch Davis, row 4, row 5, William Fletcher, and the 12 of Ryan Steele. Charlie Widener and Chad Simpson make up row 6. We've got Jeff Schmeier with Morris Borgen. Bob Beltrami is going to start P15 after having that lightning quick lap on lap number 1. Chris Sumard will round out row 8. Keith Kelman and Matt Sisler are going to start in row 9. Row 10 is Wayne Hutchinson and Julian Ricci. Dan Brazington and Scott Kukas in row 11. Row 12, Christian Bishop and Kyle McCartney. David Weaver and Chris Voiles. Dustin Barnes and Kelly Bishop. We roll on back to Wayne Fleet and Sean Rohrer in row 15. Row 16 is Barry Phil and Kerry Cleaver. James Campbell and Dave Rudd will start shotgun on the field. Last 4 drivers there didn't really put down a qualifying time, but over half our field is separated by less than half a second as they get ready to roll on off and get stacked up here for Charlotte Motor Speedway, home of the longest race on the NASCAR circuit, the Coca-Cola 600. So 81 degrees ambient air temperature. Track temperature is a scorching 120 degrees. So it's going to get hot and slick, and these guys are probably going to be sliding around just a little bit here once they start going. So we'll see who can keep their trucks under them on this initial restart after they get a little traction, a little tire wear. They'll be able to hang on a little bit better until they can't anymore. We're set for 107 laps here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Lyle Swearingen with the button as they get ready to head on into that Geico restart zone. He is down and away, gone, shot from a gun. And he is clear of Justin Michaels. First 3 single file out pretty quickly. You got Andrew Schulte, Brian Barnes back in, battling for 4th, 5th. James Lehman back there as well. Brian Barnes fading back on the high side as they bounce into that outside wall. And look at them kind of scatter there as they're going through. Michael Melfeld Jr. down on the inside of Butch Davis and Ryan Steele right behind him. Chad Simpson trying to make a little headway there, as is Charlie Widener. Jeff Schmeier down on the bottom side. Bob Beltrami staying right with him. Chris Sumard on the high side. Bob Beltrami. Morris Borgen goes from the high side to the low side, trying to get a couple positions here. Looks like Jeff Schmeier is going to try and stay with him as well. We are working through lap number 2 here in the Western States Racing League. Lyle Swearingen still leading the race. Tight battle here with Justin Michael, Andrew Schulte, and James Lehman also battling pretty hard. Lehman's been running lights out lately. A couple mistakes, getting caught in a couple different little altercations has left him down in the field the last couple weeks. We'll see what he can do. Andrew Schulte up into, almost into the wall, as he is working the high side like nobody's business up there, and he is making grounds. He's starting to close in on Justin Michael. Still side by side with James Lehman. But Schulte is carrying some speed in that 81 Toyota here. And he is side by Justin Michael. Michael Melfeld Jr. still working that low line as well. Several of the drivers trying to find a different place to roam. We'll back through the field a little ways. You got Bob Beltrami, Charlie Widener, Chris Sumard. Looks like James Campbell's out making a couple rounds through the pit stops. Kyle McCartney, Christian Bishop round out this basically lead pack here. As you see Campbell coming out of pit lane. Kyle McCartney pulls hard to the left and tries to dive it in deep to get by Wayne Hutchinson. It looks like he will do that. Christian Bishop looking to the inside as well. James Campbell is on the inside, trying to stay out of everybody's way as Chris Sumard gets by. Looks like Matt Sisler is also trying to work his way past the lap car there of Campbell. Michael Melfeld Jr. just in front of Ryan Steele. Brian Barnes up there as well. Lyle Swearingen going backwards as Andrew Schulte and James Lehman head to the point. All three of these leaders are running different lines on the track. Andrew Schulte almost clear up into the wall, running that Kyle Larson line. The high side will get you by. James Lehman dives it in deep as he pulls out from behind. Schulte slides in front of Lyle Swearingen, and he's going to try and take himself to the lead. And this is only lap 7, folks, and they are going back and forth. Lehman to the point on that round. Andrew Schulte back to second. Lyle Swearingen trying to stay with Schulte and battle him for that P2 spot. Schulte does have Justin Michael behind him, but Butch Davis is closing in on Lyle Swearingen. FBR teammates are starting to get closer together here. Keith Smith down a couple spots after qualifying, but is trying to make his way back up towards the front, as well as he is following Butch Davis inside outside, trying to figure out where he wants to be. As Davis slides up behind Justin Michael, didn't necessarily like that low line. Lyle Swearingen is stuck on the bottom and has not been able to get up to the high side. Don't know if that's by design or if he just can't get his way up there. Seemed like Schulte and Lehman were making a lot more time on that high line as we're getting ready to start lap number 10 here from Charlotte. They've raced here 4 times. They've had 4 different winners. Last time they raced here was fall in season 49. Wayne Hustad won the race. 6 cautions, 4 lead changes. So definitely we're running lights out then as well. Jeff Schmeier was able to win here once. Brian Barnes as well. Bentley Glazer. It definitely lends itself to pretty much anybody winning. It's not been dominated by anybody really here. See what going on back towards the back here as they are single filed out for the most part here. Looks like Morris Borgen goes down to the inside. Going to push Keith Smith to the middle, see if Widener goes up high or if he's going to back off just a little bit. Looks like he backs off of the throttle just a bit, allows Smith to slide up in front of him, but Widener's not going to wait forever there as he had a lot of speed there for a little bit and just nowhere to go with it. They're all over the track right here in the mid-pack. Borgen, Beltrami, and Simard. Widener up there as well. Heath Smith trying to figure out where he needs to be. Julian Ricci trying to close in as well. As the leaders have kind of single-filed out and began to drive away just a little bit. See if we can jump on board here with Beltrami, kind of see what's going on. Right to the inside there of Keith Smith. Smith slides down in front of Beltrami. Beltrami out of the throttle just enough. Can't quite get back to it quick enough as they are working through the corner, headed towards the quad oval here. Beltrami looking to the outside now, see if he can get a run. He does, has to check up just a little bit. You can see from the nose there of the 14 machine, the one has got some tire rubs from bouncing off of other cars on the outside. Beltrami's trying to find somewhere to go. He is all over the back of Heath Smith. Chris Sumar taking advantage, goes down to the inside, going to make that pass down low. Beltrami takes advantage of that move and is going to be all over Smart. Just still can't quite get a run. Beltrami just stuck back here. Go back to the front here, see what's going on up here. Looks like Lehman is starting to pull away. Half second over Andrew Schulte. Justin Michael back in third. Butch Davis, Ryan Steele, and Lyle Swearingen. 4th through 6th there. Chad Simpson trying to figure out what line he wants to run. It looks like he's ran middle to high the last couple laps. Lyle Swearingen is staying pretty much down on the bottom through the corners and then slides up on exit. Seems like he's had a pretty good run there. Brian Barnes hanging out back here in P8. Ryan Steele and Chad Simpson are the biggest movers of the race in the front half, but Kyle McCartney is the biggest mover of the race, up 7 spots. Running P17 right now. Has a lot of work to do to get up towards the front here, as he was able to get by Heath Smith as well. Christian Bishop now behind Smith. You got Keith Kelman with James Campbell down to his inside. Bishop pulls out and is going to make the pass on Heath Smith. Side by side in front of them is Kyle McCartney and Matt Sisler. Kind of a little bottled up here in the mid pack. 19 laps into the 107 lap race. Here they go one more time. Hutchinson on the inside of Ricci, trying to get by. Ricci's been running pretty well. Talked to him before the race, said it's one of his favorite tracks to run, so definitely look to him to try and make some moves here. See a lot of these guys moving around. Go up to the front, Matt Sisler and Bob Beltrami side by side. William Fletcher, Chris Sumard are hooked in a little bit of a battle. You have 6 or 7 cars right next to each other. James Lehman still leading this race. Looks like Andrew Schulte is getting a little loose there as Justin Michael was able to take advantage and get past for P2. You know Justin Michael is quick. He has, let's see. Just take a look here. Justin Michael has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races this season. But life has got in the way, so he is not battling for a championship. He's just battling for wins. As James Lehman looks like he gets a little loose. What happened to James here? Go back and take a look real quick. Down to the inside. Yep. Like he's struggling to hold on to those tires. They do have 3 sets of tires in the pits. They have 4 for the race session. Andrew Schulte, James Lehman, Ryan Steele, Lyle Swearingen make up the top 5. Chad Simpson putting in work to get up to P6, up 6 spots from where he started. Butch Davis just to his outside as they're battling around the track. Michael Melfeld Jr., Brian Barnes, 8th and 9th. Jeff Schmeier rounding out that top 10. Pack of 4 here. Michael Melfeld Jr. stuck down on the inside. You got Simpson, Davis, and Brian Barnes. All 3 of them running slightly different lines here. Simpson running about middle, slides up to the outside wall as they come through the quad oval here. Going to be interesting to see when these guys elect to try and come down and get some tires, because tire wear is going to be where it is at tonight as the temperatures are scorching still. Track temperature is 133 degrees right now. But it's only 81 degrees outside, so if you're in the stands, everything's all right with you. That track, though, that is melting some tires in a hurry. Go back here and watch Chris Sumard and Charlie Widener side by side. Morris Borgen and Matt Sisler. Kyle McCartney up 9 spots now, running inside the top 15. See him get a little loose. You see Sisler gets a little loose. I think that is going to be the theme for what we're going to see momentarily. Dan Brazington pulls down to the inside, going to try his luck against Julian Ricci. Ricci cuts the corner just a little bit. It's going to go back down on the inside, try and get by William Fletcher. Fletcher on the high side, Ricci down low. If Ricci is going to be able to slide up and clear Fletcher. Looks like he will do just that. Kelly Bishop back here, Sean Rohr up 3 spots. Gary Cleaver looking to the inside here as they battle through the corner. And and Sean checked that outside wall just a little bit. Barry Phil and Scott Kukas. 242 stays down on the bottom side. Barry Phil gives plenty of room staying high. Just doesn't quite have the momentum as they are side by side battling down the backstretch. Looked like Barry Phil was kind of going to give him the spot, let him roll on by, just didn't quite have the speed here. We'll go back to the front as Justin Michael is beginning to check out one more time as he waves in his rearview mirror out to almost a 2-second lead. Andrew Schulte, Ryan Steele, Lyle Swearingen, and Chad Simpson. Ryan Steele seems to be one of the better drivers from what I've witnessed in calling this league to be able to save tires or run better on old tires. "30 laps in here." Like Dustin Burns didn't have a good trip through the quad. Like he lost a little ground going through the quad oval. Probably cut it a little too much there. Christian Bishop was under pressure a little bit there, but Kyle McCartney is as well. James Campbell letting Bob Beltrami by and slides up behind him. James Campbell just trying to get some experience out here racing these guys. Started in the pits and has stayed out of trouble, let these guys race around him. As he is 4 laps down right now, as you see just in front of them there. Looks like that was Morris Borgen into that outside wall, bouncing off just a little bit. Looks like James Campbell also lost a little bit there as he was working his way by Bob Beltrami. Bob Beltrami staying up high, trying to work some of those tires as best he can. You got Borgen, Bishop, and Sisler all battling 3 wide. They've settled down just a little bit as Bishop gets a run and has pulled ahead. Widener almost off that outside wall. Wayne Hutchinson gets pretty close. Michael Melfeld Jr. under pressure from Brian Barnes. Morris Borgen into pit lane. Ryan Steele able to get by Andrew Schulte for P2. But nobody's catching Justin Michael at the moment, as he is over, I'm going to say, just about 2.5 seconds in front of Ryan Steele. Andrew Stoltz is still running that high line. Looks like he's probably trying to save a little bit of his tires as he's gotten loose the last couple laps, almost into that outside wall. Brian Barnes looks to the inside of Michael Melfeld Jr. Side by side they go through turn number 3 here. Barnes makes the pass, but Melfeld Jr. is not giving it away that easy, as he is all over that rear bumper there of that popsicle number 4 Chevy. Up front, we'll look at Andrew Schulte getting pressure from Lyle Swearingen. Lyle Swearingen goes to the inside, going to try and take away P3 from Schulte. Side by side. Looks like everybody's going to be making their way down pit road pretty soon. Basically going to split this race into 3s here. Andrew Schulte gets a little loose. Christian Bishop in the pits. Bob Beltrami, Kelly Bishop, Dustin Burns, all in the pits. 28 cars still on the track at the moment. You can see everybody come down this next time by as well. One thing you want to watch after these green flag pit stops is they get back out there and they're on those cold tires. The trucks are not going to drive the same. They're going to have to pay attention and almost kind of baby them around the first couple laps till they get a little heat in the tires, to try and help them make it to that the sweet spot that they were running these last few laps. William Fletcher and Kyle McCartney, Julian Ricci, David Weaver all in. Justin Michael still rolling out. Ryan Steele slows down a little bit as Lyle Swearingen goes to his inside. Side by side they go. Andrew Schulte under pressure from Chad Simpson. Heath Smith, Michael Melfeld Jr., Kerry Cleaver, Barry Phil all in. Andrew Schulte, James Lehman in as well. Lyle Swearingen, Ryan Steele side by side. I don't think that's what they want if they're going to try and come down pit road anytime soon. One of them's going to have to let the other one go. Dan Brazington in. Sean Rohrer, Dave Rudd. Dave Rudd, Sean Rohrer, thanks for joining in the YouTube chat and racing. Butch Davis, Charlie Widener, Jeff Schmeier, Keith Kellman, Wayne Hutchinson all in. Justin Michael just came in. Ryan Steele did not. Lyle Swearingen did not. And not sure what happened to a couple drivers here, but looks like they might have had an issue getting off of pit lane. Ryan Steele pulling in, Lyle Swearingen in. I'm going to assume Scott Kukas is going to come down as well. But as they're doing that, let's kind of take a look, see what happened here. Oh, like he just... Oh. Yep. And then... what happened to that 77 machine? It wound up sideways. So after the pit cycle, for now, your leader is Morris Borgen. As he pitted on lap 33, Andrew Schulte is in his rear view there as we're looking back. And that 81 machine pitted on lap 39. So green flag pit stops are done. Christian Bishop pitted on lap 36, able to get some track position. Up 20 spots is that number 26 Chevy. Another driver up quite a few is going to be Kyle McCartney, up 17. Bob Beltrami inside the top 10, running plus P9 for Bob Beltrami here. Have to give these guys a few laps to get cycled through here. Looks like Dave Rudd, Wayne Fleet, Sean Rohrer, Chris Simard, Barry Phil, and James Kimball are all a few laps down now. Chad Simpson pulls out, goes to the inside, going to try and pass Bob Beltrami. Looks like he will get it done with ease. Working our way towards that halfway point here in the Western States Racing League. Round number 15. After tonight's race, they will head to Mosport, and then Texas, California, Phoenix. Have an off week, and then come back on June 4th and have their season finale at Las Vegas. So all these guys battling for points. Every point matters. As I was saying earlier, these guys are basically within, let's see, the top 5 are within 50 points. So one bad race or anything like that, and it could shake it up in a hurry. Justin Michael and Christian Bishop have got up to speed and are running 1-2 right now. Christian Bishop up 21 spots. Morris Bogan up 11, running P3, but has Andrew Schulte right behind him. Chad Simpson back there a little ways. Looks like he is separated by Scott Kukas there in the 242. Michael Melfeld Jr., Kyle McCartney, Bob Beltrami, Butch Davis, and Ryan Steele make up that top 10. They know Ryan Steele's going to have a little bit of work to do here as he came in on lap 42. Leader came in on lap 41. So Justin Michael has got back out on track, got that 87 Toyota hooked back up, and he is beginning to set sail once again. He pitted with almost a 3-second advantage, and right now, even though Christian Bishop last pitted on lap 36 and was up to speed a lot sooner, Justin Michael is over a second in front of Christian Bishop now. Justin Michael does have Dustin Burns in front of him. Justin Burns goes high, almost into the wall, lets Justin Michael have as much ground as he needs. Looks like Dan Brazington might be having a little bit of some hardware issues there. Chris Dumard back out on track trying to get a couple laps back, but it's going to be hard to do the way these guys are driving right now. Brazington hard into that outside wall. Kerry Cleaver trying to get by. Andrew Schulte was able to get by Christian Bishop. Chad Simpson also going by. Christian Bishop still net positive right now after coming down about 5 laps before the rest of the drivers around him. Back through the field here. Butch Davis, Michael Melfeld Jr., Ryan Steele. They do have James Campbell mixed in with them. Lyle Swearingen back there as well. Brian Barnes trying to get up there. And Jeff Schmeier in that 30 Toyota. Julian Ricci out here rolling through. Keeping that number 2 Chevy nice and clean so far tonight. Wayne Hutchinson back here, Charlie Widener, Matt Sisler. James Lehman has a little right side damage there. Kyle McCartney going by Bogan. Bogan did come out of the green flag pit cycle on the lead. Now McCartney can't get by. Bob Beltrami is able to get by McCartney. Barry Phil getting out of the way of Justin Michael. At some point, some of these other drivers have got to be saying, can't anybody just like kind of block him for a little bit, slow him down just a little bit so we can kind of close the gap? Andrew Schulte is almost 3 seconds back from Justin Michael. Yes, we're going to have another round of pit stops, but that didn't seem to slow Justin Michael down for very long. Chad Simpson is going to be battling Andrew Schulte. Ryan Steele was able to get clear. Lyle Swearingen, and then you have a bunch closing around Christian Bishop. Christian Bishop, Butch Davis, Michael Melfeld Jr. You have James Campbell down there, Brian Barnes, and Jeff Schmeier in this group. And you have Bob Beltrami, Kyle McCartney, Morris Brogan, James Lehman, Matt Sisler, Charlie Widener, Hutchinson, Ricci, Kelman, and David Weaver are the top 20 drivers in the field right now. Dustin Burns, Scott Kukas, David Rudd, Wayne Fleet, Chris Simard, Barry Phil, James Campbell, all still out on track. All multiple laps down. Well, it looks like 3 of them are probably just a lap down. And you have Barry Phil and James Campbell a couple laps down. Sean Rohrer called it a night. Andrew Schulte and Chad Simpson are going to be working to the inside of Barry Phil, as Barry Phil's going to give him the bottom, let him roll on through and try and just stay out of their way here. Closest battle on track is going to be back here with this gaggle of cars with Butch Davis, Brian Barnes, Michael Melfeld Jr., Christian Bishop, Jeff Schmeier, and James Campbell. Blake Campbell's been running. Yes, he's a few laps down, but that's because he elected to start in the pits. But he has had some decent speed and has been basically staying out of everybody's way for the most part. Been able to race around a lot of the drivers that have shown speed, so maybe next time he won't start from the pits here. See if there's any other action by Kelly Bishop. William Fletcher trying to battle around here. Look, that's Wayne Fleet just in front of him. Justin Michael has checked out once again. The view from his rear bumper here. 511 Tactical. Daniels Defense 87 Toyota has pretty much set sail. You can barely see the drivers in the distance here. Chad Simpson trying to hang on there. Ryan Steele, Lyle Swearingen. Barry Phil just staying out of the way. These guys are all pretty well single filed out now. Jeff Schmeier, Christian Bishop, Bob Beltrami back there, Kyle McCartney. Nobody's really trying to pull out and make some ground here. As Justin Michael just says, see you later to the 69 of Kerry Cleaver. Andrew Schulte, Chad Simpson, Ryan Steele, Lyle Swearingen in the top 5. Brian Barnes sitting right where he started in P6 here. Butch Davis, Michael Melfeld Jr., Jeff Schmeier, Christian Bishop. Kyle Larson is going to try and pull the double this year, running both the Indy 500 and the Coke 600. There's only 4 drivers who have attempted to do it. But I'm sure only Tony Stewart was able to complete both of the races. As pit cycles have started once again here on lap 71. Andrew Schulte, Chad Simpson battling it out here. We're getting into the 30 lap to go stage here, but Justin Michael is gone. Goodbye, see you later. Coming up on lap traffic. Hopefully somebody can slow him down. At least that's what Chad Simpson's saying, because Chad just can't seem to close in here. Looks like the one of Heath Smith is going to head down pit lane. Chad Simpson trying to close in. Ryan Steele, Lyle Swearingen, Brian Barnes. Looks like Jeff Schmeier comes in. Andrew Schulte, Julian Ricci. As Schulte's on his way out of the pits here. Jeff Schmeier in pit lane. Well, while we have a second here and they're going through their pit cycles, I'm going to go ahead and welcome Alan into the booth after getting done calling his race earlier. Alan, how's it going, man?
It's going good. 76 lap. We're on lap 76 here in Charlotte, and look, it's the same song, different verse. Justin Michael again, once leading a race. He's been a dominant force here in the series all season long. I got to tell you what, that if you get a chance to watch that XMS Elite Xfinity Series, they were at Coda tonight, and Michael Scott, Liz Rambler just absolutely obliterated the field with a 45-second lead, and then on the last lap, bringing it down to the checker, he spins it out and puts it in reverse and finishes the race backwards.
Maybe we'll see Justin Michael try and do that here. He's got over a 5-second lead. Hasn't really had anybody challenge him, really. The biggest challenge he had was when Kerry Cleaver couldn't make up his mind if he wanted to be high or low when Justin Michael was trying to get by him, and Michael just closed in too fast and gave him a little tap on the bumper. But other than that, been all the 87. Got 6 cars that haven't pitted either.
So judging by the timing and scoring, 5-second lead, the closest competition right now is Ryan Steele to Chad Simpson there, who's up 24 spots. Here comes Andrew Schulte. He's going to try to make a run on both of them guys.
Yeah, Andrew Schulte got those 4 fresh tires. He's going to try and make pretty quick work of it, get his lap back the hard way as he gets by Chad Simpson. He knows Chad Simpson and Justin Michael have to pit, but He's going to have to take all the advantage he can of those fresh tires here.
Yeah, this, I check in and out on these races, whenever I'm calling other ones, and I tell you what, this has been an absolute barn burner right now. As we have this. I tell people all the time, this is the nightcap, so of course they got to save the best for last, right?
Well, I want to know how these guys are even like holding on to these cars. The track temperature started at like 121 degrees. When race time kicked off a couple laps in, it was up to 133. Now it's down to a balmy 128 again.
Well, I tell you what, I would not want to go cook an egg on that. Well, you could cook an egg or a pizza on that track surface here, and that's a hot one there, and these guys are definitely feeling it in these trucks, as these trucks like to slip and slide around the racetrack.
Chad Simpson coming in. Andrew Schulte able to get his lap back as Justin Michael hits pit lane. Ryan Steele peels off and goes down as well. We'll see if Widener comes in or if he's going to stay out. Yeah, he'll stay out another lap.
He'll definitely stay out another lap. And it looks like that Kerry Cleaver won the race to the beer stand there in that 69 truck.
Oh, no, he didn't. The 33 did. Don Rohr. he had a rougher day.
Oh. Well, with that being said, look, I'm trying to secure a beer sponsor. If anybody knows of a small brewery or even, we'd love to take a beer sponsor on. For Allen's race to the beer stand. And, Sunday night, that's the only race that I won was to the beer stand Sunday afternoon. Over on Racers Elite in that full-length Talladega race. And
dude, that full-length Talladega race was lights out, dude. That was fun.
Hey, look, I watched it from my mower. I'm mowing the grass and listening to the broadcast at the same time, and you and Jordan and Shane all had me cracking up on the lawnmower. I think I cut a couple squiggly lines from laughing so hard. But nonetheless, Andrew Schulte, he's out to almost a 4.5 second lead over Christian Bishop. Andrew Schulte started is up 33 positions. That tells me he started somewhere around the 32nd starting spot.
Well, that would be when you got in the race, Alan. So that just tells you how much they go back and forth here. He qualified P3. He's only up a couple spots, so
that works.
But right now he has a 7-second gap to Justin Michael, as Justin Michael is beginning to engulf everybody that pitted before him.
Yeah, as he gets ready to go by Bob Beltrami there and that number 14, the Beltrami salami machine. I still gotta know, I'm sure that's a real company. Gotta be a real company.
I would think so.
I'm still looking for a website.
We can ask Bob one of these days. Hey, if he keeps running the way he's running, he could get a top 3 here at Charlotte.
Well, look, so, many, many years ago, I would say 2022, guys like, Schmeier, Swearingen, Fletcher, these guys were the bee's knees of the series, even Charlie Widener. And now it's almost like a passing of the torch. Now there's Andrew Schulte, Justin Michael, and those other guys, these newer guys that are coming into the series, and they're just dominating it. And if you're a Jeff Schmeier or Bob Beltrami, you're thinking, what happened to us? still very, very competitive.
Yeah, I'm waiting until we hit the road course next week. See if Christian Bishop can bring that road course magic that he always seems to have.
Ooh, what road course are we going to?
Mosport.
Ooh. And they, when Bob puts the schedule together, he usually puts 1 or 2 road courses in there, to kind of as an equalizer.
It's amazing what different people call different racetracks.
I think last season he did Mid Ohio,
Yeah.
and then most sport I believe is Montreal, right?
A Canadian, yeah. Canadian Tire. Yep.
Okay. I got a week to get that one.
Yeah, I get see. Hey, somebody else is Racers Elite Trucks there, I believe, next week too. So.
Wow. Another good race there. Not surprising that one tonight went green to checkered for 105 laps, and Kensley Smith came out on top there. But nonetheless, we were watching a barn burner here. You know, these Truck Series races, they put on some bangers of some races there.
Christian Bishop going the wrong way now. He's still going to wind up net positive the way he's been running. He's up 19 spots from where he qualified, running P4 right now, but Jeff Schmeier is closing in pretty quickly, as is Michael Melfelt Jr. as he goes by Bob Beltrami.
Yeah, I think the outside is kind of where you want to be, but I think, look, I listened to Darrell Waltrip where he says you don't want to be on that white line going through these corners, but I think a lot of these guys dare to venture out to that, what I like to call the Kyle Larson line.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Well, I was talking to myself about earlier. Andrew Schultze, like lap 2, was clear up on the wall like the whole time, and now he's gonna have a rearview mirror. Well, never mind. Justin Michael going on by.
Adios.
If these guys weren't teammates, a little bump would definitely change the complexion of the race.
Well, I tell you what, right now Andrew Schultz is thinking, Justin Michael, when am I going to get to win one? And Justin Michael goes, well, Andrew, if I let you win one, then how am I going to win one?
Yeah, Andrew Schultze is in the midst of a championship battle here. 21 points back.
Yellow.
What? No.
I join you in the booth and calamity happens. It's probably green flag races all the way up to this point.
What in the world happened? All right, let's see. Let's see. Ryan Steele. Oh. I don't know what happened.
Casper's not the friendliest ghost we think we know.
Oh. Just nowhere to go. Thought he was clear. That is some good racing, though. You have Jeff Schmeier up in front. Ryan Steele is closing in, but so is Michael Melfelt Jr. Ryan probably thinks he is clear as he goes to slide up the track. Schmeier keeps coming up too, but Melfelt Jr. just gets his nose just in front. And that's what's going to bring out that yellow flag there. Let's see if we can take a look here from Melfelt Jr.'s nose cam. Just barely sticks his nose in. Doesn't even get to the tire. Just enough. That's a rough deal.
Well, look, we got 13 laps to go here. And right now, you're going to want to say tires, man. That's all 4 tires or nothing. We're getting down to record to checkers time. Bring me the wheel, or bring me the flag. You know.
Yeah, it's definitely getting down to that time as these guys are getting stacked back up. I'm going to assume that a lot of these drivers are going to try and take the wave around and at least get some sort of track position and not have to start at the back of the longest line here.
Well, you know, of all the things you don't think you'd see on a road course, over there at XMS Xfinity Series, I saw my first ever caution as they did a stage break.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh boy, what a time that was.
Yeah, those cautions on the road course, you know, the 3 laps or whatever, take forever. But other than that, it's usually pretty good racing for the most part. You always have your road course ringers that come out and tend to rise to the top pretty quickly, though.
And I am not one of those.
Like I say all the time, there's a reason why I'm up here in the booth.
Hey, look. The reason I got around Watkins Glen so well is because I spent about a week watching videos of Michael Conti doing track guides. And even then, it all ended in disaster.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we thank you for making SRM a part of your evening here with the Western States Racing League, with Mike Demoni in the booth. And look, I had a habit tonight of showing up after the fact. But hey, you know, this is a fun league, you know, a lot of the times. And, you know, I like the fact that this league is definitely the last one of the night, because it's kind of like a nightcap. So coming over here after I was done with my other show is kind of like taking Pepto-Bismol after a good hot meal. And these guys get doubled up behind the iRacing.com pace car. We're going to have 11 laps to go. We're going to come back to 10 to go when we come back to Green Flag Racing. And Justin, Michael, and Andrew Schulte is going to be on that front row here as they work their way down that back straightaway. And I tell you what, Mike, I'm looking forward to that full-length Charlotte Coke 600 coming up here in May. As I'm working on a pretty cool paint scheme for it, I believe.
Well, I'm still waiting for the Waffle House to show up, but, you know.
Oh, man. Look, I'm surprised you didn't say nothing about it on the broadcast. I got some kinks I got to work out. Hey, look, I got some kinks I got to work out with that one. It didn't fit right.
Yeah.
I could put that on television.
So you got Justin Michael, Andrew Schulte in the front row, FBR teammates of Swearingen and Simpson, I do believe, in row 2. Christian Bishop and James Lehman in row 3. So definitely going to battle it out here as they get ready to turn them loose. Oh, never mind.
So they're going to send them around one more time, huh?
Yep, lights are back. We're back on, and now they are off. They had quite a few drivers come to take that wave around. Going to let them get lined back up so they can race this thing out to the end here. We'll get the green flag with 9 to go.
Ooh, boy. 9 laps to go. Hey, look, the Waffle House car got smothered, covered, and whatever before it even hit the track. Nonetheless, it was a good showing. I got to run about 50 laps before and I can't wait to give you this explanation. So I go to shift up to third, and I got second instead, and then Kapui.
I want to say I saw, I heard your engine blow, but you weren't the only one. There was another driver that blew his engine from riding around drafting too closely, I believe.
Oh boy. I didn't even get to take Matt Mettler out. I'm disappointed, but he was my teammate, so. We're gonna go green flag racing this time by here with 9 to go at the line. iRacing.com pace car dips onto the field. Barney's got the green flag in hand, and Justin Michael's gonna take over that lead, get the whole shot coming down the front right away.
Yeah, these guys did away with the whole we want to restart zone, so all the drivers basically take off almost as soon as the pace car gets out of the way. And Justin Michael is going to be battling Andrew Schulte for the race win. Both of them are pretty quick on fresh tires, so we'll see if Andrew has anything for his teammate or if Justin's going to let Andrew squeeze on by for the victory here. Lyle Swearingen, Chad Simpson back there in third and fourth. Christian Bishop inside the top 5, up 18 spots right now.
Ooh, here comes Bob Beltrami. He's trying to get back to that 5th position and get around that. Oh, ooh, there he goes. Does he have it in him? And there's Kyle McCartney in the most expensive truck on the field right now. And that Snap-on truck tool, that Snap-on truck Toyota. That's a 50 truck. James Lehman's going to slide up right in front of McCartney. Wow, this is, you know, watching these races, especially the full-length races, you can literally take a nap, come back, watch the last 50 laps, and know what's going on.
Yeah, pretty much. Lyle Swearingen, fastest lap of the race with a 30.79.
Oh, we're under caution again.
That does not look good for a Melfelt Jr.
We got to go the other way, buddy. We're counterclockwise.
Morris
Left
Morgan
turn.
down on the
Left.
inside. James Lehman. Matt Sisler. Oh, cleans himself right
And-
off the nose. Oh, and Ryan Steele gets it too.
Michael Melfield Jr. goes for the slide for life.
Let's see. We can on board with Ryan Steele. You'll see everything break off in front of him. He's going to stay up high, try to stay out of the way, and the truck just slides right up the track right into him.
Oh my goodness.
So there goes Ryan Steele's night.
Well, now it becomes a 6-lap dash. Probably have a natural green and white checker finish. As Andrew Schulte's Justin Michaels Mary had a little lamb there. Ooh, is Justin Michael trying to fake out some of the field, or is he literally going to come down for pit services? 5 to go.
Tires?
Maybe.
Or does he just not want to run up on the track?
That too. I mean, look, just when you think you've seen it all, you've seen more.
I would say there's a guy that shuts off his engine.
Oh boy. I had the day off today, Mike.
Whoa.
If you,
That would have been nice.
well, look, it was a day off until it wasn't, and then I got to play a little game. If you've been poking around Discord today, you know.
Yeah, I saw it.
The episode of the weirdest things you can find in a ceiling fan or whatever. So I took so I get a text from my wife. I'm down here doing a broadcast. I get a text from my wife. It says the ceiling fan's rattling. I'm like, well, okay, she'll shut it off, and then it went away for a little while, then it came back, and that last time it was rougher than ever. So I'm like, well, I'll get paid, to sit here and take the ceiling fan apart. So I took it apart, and lo and behold, there's the Geico lizard just right there in my ceiling fan. I'm like, could at least save me some money on the car insurance first. Anyways, 4 laps to go. These guys are getting doubled up here on the back, straight away behind that iRacing.com pace car. And I tell you what, I don't know how many cautions they've had here tonight, but I'm sure it's been far few and in between.
2.
Okay. See? Too far few and in between. I'm telling you, look, you went green flag all the way to the point where I came into the broadcast booth with you.
Yeah.
Now we done racked off 2 of these cautions. Hey, I'm good for that. They call me the black cloud of rain.
It probably would have been almost under an hour here at Charlotte.
Yeah, and then I got done calling a race, and then here we are. Hour and 4 minutes later.
Yeah, it looks like it is going to be a natural green-white checkered.
That it is. They're going to come down. They're gonna go back to green with 2 laps to go. We're gonna send them around. They can come back to the white flag. Anything happens after that will be official then, and only then. If we don't make it back to the white flag, we have a caution. Yeah, we're gonna go NASCAR overtime.
And we have 3 of those.
Yeah, 3 chances to get it right. So, I mean, I think Andrew Schulte on an outside line has probably got the best line right now, unless Michael's been good on that inside line all night.
Michael's been good on that inside line, but watch what happens on this restart. That field gets ready to roll on through 3 and 4 here. Daniel's Defense or Taco Bell?
Well, I'm going to ring the bell.
Pace truck is in. Justin Michael with the button, and he is down and away. Like I said, they don't have a restart zone. They just go down and away.
Adios, says Justin Michael, 2 laps to go.
Swearingen and Schulte side by side. Bob Beltrami and Christian Bishop side by side. Jeff Schmeier battling with Kyle McCartney. So the old school back here as Andrew Schulte pancakes that outside wall. Lyle Swearingen gets by. And we are going to be official this time by Justin Michael, Lyle Swearingen, Andrew Schulte. Now Andrew Schulte made that little mistake, and that is going to cost him a top 2 finish here. But Justin Michael is still pulling away. Christian Bishop pulls out, tries to get as much track position as he can, but it's going to be a little too late as Justin Michael is going to head through that quad oval, and he is going to check the box once again as he wins at Charlotte. Lyle Swearingen second, Andrew Schulte third, Chad Simpson and Bob Beltrami round out that top 5.
That's all he's ever doing is winning. Justin Michael, can he be stopped? This is look, I'm going to pull a reference, but this is what it's like to be the tribal chief. And this is Justin Michael's Island of Relevancy. As the swoosh goes in there. I like that. Martinsburg, West Virginia, and all he does is win. Well, he's definitely not wrong because he's done about a half a dozen of these races now?
Yeah, this is win number 6.
Wow. Whoa. This is look. There's if you're not used to this league and you're watching this, you're thinking, well, who did he make mad? This is how he gets congratulated in the league.
Definitely burning it down here. Let's see. Jump over to third place here. Andrew, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Not too bad, Mike. How you guys doing?
Oh, not too bad. Well, heck of a run there from the start of the race there. A couple little cautions at the end, but still found yourself up in the front. How was it racing out there at Charlotte tonight?
It was interesting with what you had to do with your tires. The first run, I drove the tires off. I had nothing left of the tires after the first run. Second run, I had way too much tire left. I was babying it the whole time. And then we got lucky with I think the last caution. Justin obviously ran us down. I didn't know what we were going to have for Lyle and Simpson there, if that would have stayed green till the end. But caution came out, helped us out. We got tires on it and then had a fair shot there at the end.
It definitely looked like you found the place to be at the end of the race. So you think you got a few points here on the championship, trying to close in there. How is that feeling as you head into the road course next week?
Yeah, I think we got 1 point tonight, maybe. Depends on if you had any incident points or anything to take points away. But road course, we're gonna keep it on the track and yes, hope he doesn't. Yeah, that's all we can just do. Road course, no cautions or anything. So we just got to run our race, be consistent, and keep it out of the dirt, keep it out of the ditches, and hopefully have something to show for it at the end.
Definitely, man. Well, anybody want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Yeah, congrats, Justin. Bandit Motorsports as a whole. Love racing with the guys. Obviously, congrats, Justin, on the win. Patented paints for the paint. I know he's got a couple of paints out there, and the Racing Media crew always puts on a good show. Thanks to Bob for giving us a great place to run on Tuesdays and Fridays, and shout out to the wife and kids.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again.
Thank you, sir.
Alan, I believe you're going to be with Lyle.
As I'm hitting buttons like here. Lyle, it's Alan and Mike in the SRM booth. How's it going, buddy?
Doing good. How about yourselves?
Well, I tell you what, you almost got back to Justin Michael, but you're gonna bring it home P2 tonight. I would think that's a good run. What was the track like out there? Did you guys run in this race?
You could either be loose on the log run or be tight, just depending on how you drove it. If you drove it hard, you're going to be tight. If you just drove it with some sense and had some tire left in the log run, you're actually loose on the exits. But yeah, I'll definitely take second after these Tuesday series races. Finally was able to put one together finally and have a good finish for it. I do got to apologize to Schulte though for I wiggled out of 4 there coming to the white and it got into him and made him hit the wall, so apologize for that.
Yeah, so now next week we're going north of the border to Canada. What are you looking for once we get to Canada and hit that road course up there?
Staying on the track will be the #1 goal, and going fast probably ain't going to be anywhere on top of my list. So we'll stay on the track. We'll try to keep it out of trouble and see what comes from it.
Well, hey man, before we get you out of here, and one other thing, look, I'm not a road course guy either, but I went and watched some Michael Conte videos on how to get around these speeds. But before we get you out of here, is there anybody that you'd like to thank to help get you here tonight?
I'd like to thank the WSRL for putting these together. It's always fun on the Tuesday and Friday series. I'd like to thank my teammates, FPR Motorsports. We always run good together, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, sounds good. Well, we'll see you north of the border there in Canada, and have a good night.
Hope you guys have fun watching.
Sure did. And then last but certainly not least,
Justin, Michael, man, how is it going?
Good. How about you guys?
Yeah, not too bad. So you were up to almost a 6-second lead throughout that race. How are you able to do it?
I like the 1.5 mile tracks. You know, this one, whatever, Texas and all the others. But I don't know. I've always ran really good at these, and I can save tires better than anybody else. So at these tracks, for some reason, I don't know why, it just clicks for some reason. And there's a few other tracks like Dover. You know, I do that too. And yeah, I don't know. Once we got pulled away, and I just knew that if they were going to pit before me, I knew I'd just fly right back by them. Even if I had 2 or 3 lap, newer tires, that we would catch them and pass them and put them back further. And we just kept doing that. And then I wish that caution wouldn't have came out. I don't know. We might have gapped them by 7 or 8 seconds there at the end.
Yeah, it definitely looked like you were on pace to do that. And with the track temperature being as hot as it was and stuff, it definitely looked like tire saving was a must here. But you get win number 6. How does it feel getting all these wins and not being able to, run for that championship?
It sucks, but life happens, so it is what it is. I don't know how many races are left, but we'll run next season, hopefully the whole time, and we'll maybe be able to pull something out. I don't know. Maybe the math will work out. We can do it this year with drop weeks. I don't know how many drop weeks we get. I don't look into all that. I just kind of, I just drive, and wherever the points fall, they fall.
Definitely. Well, you wrap up this race with another victory, and we head to the road course Mosport next week. How do you feel about road course racing?
In the truck, I'm not, it's whatever. It's okay. I like it in the next gen cars better, but I like Mosports. I learned it a few years back when we had a leg race somewhere else, and I did really well. So I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll turn some practice laps this week, and me and the Bandit guys will have a good finish, hopefully.
Definitely, Matt. Well, anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Thank you guys for calling the race, and Bob for putting on the leg, and all the Bandit guys out there. We always appreciate them. Want to give a shout out to 2 people. Carrie, for I got into him there going into 1 and made him put him in the wall when I was putting him a lap down. I felt really bad about it. I still do. And they did the same thing to Charlie, I think, last Friday at a race. So I feel bad about that too. And happy birthday to Chris Voles out there. So we call him the captain. So but we appreciate you guys, and we'll hopefully see you next week.
Sounds good.
I got one more thing before you get him out of here. Justin, look, I told Mike on the broadcast, I said, we're going to pull a page out of Roman Reigns' book, and I'm in here in the booth throwing the ones up because, I feel like that you're the Roman Reigns of the series right now because all you're doing is winning.
We'll see if that streak continues next week. So don't say anything yet. Let's wait till next week.
Hey, I mean, look, this is your island of relevancy. So all you need right now is a Paul Heyman.
There you go.
All right. Well, congrats once again, Justin.
We appreciate it, guys. We'll see you next time.
Oh.
I can't do a broadcast and not do a WWE reference. Come
Apparently
on,
not.
You should have known it was coming.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I did.
You're like, oh, here it comes.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting if Justin can make the last 4 races, I believe. 5 races.
Hey, look,
last 5 races. How close that's going to actually be for the championship.
If he makes the last 4 races and wins this championship, I will acknowledge him on the air. as the tribal chief of the series.
It's gonna be close from what I'm looking at. So with that
Well,
being
none-
said, let's try and wrap this thing up here. Let me get these race results up. Justin Michael, Lyle Swearingen, Andrew Schulte, the top 3. Chad Simpson, Bob Beltrami comes in with a top 5. Christian Bishop, Kyle McCartney, Matt Sisler, Jeff Schmeier, and James Lehman. Inside that top 10, Butch Davis, P11, Morris Borgen, Charlie Widener, Julian Ricci, Wayne Hutchinson, William Fletcher, Brian Barnes, Keith Kelman round out that top 18. David Weaver, Dan Brazington, Dustin Burns, Chris Voiles, Chris Sumard, Kelly Bishop, Scott Kukas, Wayne Fleet, Dave Rudd, Barry Phil, James Campbell, Ryan Steele, Michael Belfeld Jr., Heath Smith, Kerry Cleaver, and Sean Rohr round out the field tonight. Oh, that is it here from Sim Racing Media on a Tuesday night. From all the drivers of the Western States Racing League and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you all a good night. We will see you tomorrow night.